In this heartfelt video, we delve into a painful journey of love, betrayal, and redemption. After years of building a life together, Adela uncovers Samuel's infidelity, leading to a heartbreaking confrontation that threatens to unravel their family. As they navigate the turbulent waters of hurt and mistrust, they find themselves faced with the ultimate challenge: can love truly conquer all? Join us as we explore their path toward healing, resilience, and the rediscovery of trust, revealing the transformative power of unconditional love in the face of adversity. Don't miss this emotional rollercoaster that showcases the profound strength of the human spirit. The night was shrouded in a strange stillness, as storm clouds gathered ominously above, casting shadows that seemed to linger longer than necessary. I had spent years building my life with Samuel, a life that once brimmed with laughter and joy, now felt precariously close to collapse. The warmth of our shared memories was chillingly absent, replaced only by a sense of dread that clung to my skin like the humid air. There was a growing chasm between us that I could neither define nor breach, and each passing moment made my heart race with a quiet, anticipatory panic. Our love story had begun on a sweltering summer afternoon in a small town in Nigeria, where the scent of jollof rice and sizzling suya filled the air. Samuel's laughter had initially drawn me in, a captivating sound that felt like home, full of dreams and promises of everlasting affection. We were young, brimming with passion and hope, convinced that our love would weather any storm. Yet, as those early days faded into memory, I started to notice the cracks appearing in our once perfect union. Years later, everything felt different. I devoted myself to nurturing our home, transforming it into a sanctuary filled with spices and laughter, but no matter what I did, Samuel seemed increasingly distant. He had once shared secrets and dreams under the stars, but now, he often buried himself in work or retreated into the shadows of his own thoughts, leaving me to wonder if he still loved me. The void that formed was suffocating. It gnawed at the edges of my heart, demanding to be filled while leaving me powerless to change anything. As the rain drummed on the roof one fateful night, I gave in to the gnawing suspicion that had been creeping into my thoughts. In a moment of vulnerability, I found myself scrolling through Samuel's phone. The rhythm of my heartbeat matched the thunder outside, escalating with each new message I stumbled upon. What I uncovered was a solid treasure trove of intimate exchanges and sweet nothings meant for another woman. Each word was a dagger to my heart, and with every message, I felt the collapsing weight of shattered trust. The confrontation that followed was explosive. As I stormed into the living room, shaking with rage and heartbreak, I knew this moment would redefine our lives. What kind of man betrays his wife? I demanded, my voice trembling with hurt. Samuel's face turned pale, his initial shock morphing into a pitiful mixture of guilt and despair. "I'm so sorry, Adela. I made a terrible mistake," he stammered, but the sincerity of his apology felt hollow, as though he was merely reciting lines from a script he'd rehearsed too many times. Days turned into weeks, and our home was cloaked in an atmosphere heavy with grief. I moved through our space like a ghost, haunted by memories that stung like fresh wounds. The walls, once teeming with laughter, now felt suffocating, an unbearable reminder of what we had lost. Our little rituals of joy were replaced with awkward silences, the echo of our past happiness hanging in the air like an unresolved melody. The more I tried to reach out to him, the more it seemed that Samuel was entangled in his own web of remorse. Desperation clawed at my insides until I finally decided to embrace the turmoil instead of shying away from it. As Samuel sank deeper into his guilt, I found solace in writing letters to myself. Each word was a cathartic release, unraveling the storm inside me. "This isn't just about betrayal," I wrote one evening, surrounded by scattered papers. "It's a loss of identity and trust. How do I rebuild both?" Writing became my refuge, allowing me to channel my spiraling thoughts into something both tangible and transformative. Just as I was grappling with the aftermath of betrayal, our lives took an unexpected turn when our precious daughter, Nneka, fell gravely ill. The hospital emerged as our new reality, a cold, sterile world dominated by machines and whispers of despair. With our daughter's life hanging in the balance, Samoa and I were forced to navigate this fear together. In those anguished hours, we realized that anger and betrayal paled against the instinct to protect our child. This raw, shared vulnerability often brought us closer. We were both parents before we were anything else. One fateful evening, I caught Samuel sitting quietly in the waiting area. The weight of the world visibly settled on his shoulders, and I felt a swell of compassion. "I can't keep fighting you," I admitted softly. "Our daughter needs us." In that moment, I saw the flicker of a man searching for redemption. Samuel's eyes were filled with unshed tears as he took my hand, creating an unexpected connection that filled the empty void between us, if only for that fleeting moment. Gradually, time became our ally, allowing us to reassess our relationship amid chaos. We both knew we couldn't sweep the past under the rug. Samoa utilized counseling as a means to confront the deeper reasons behind his actions, exploring doubts and fears that had long lingered beneath the surface. Meanwhile, I turned to friends who provided solace whenever I felt overwhelmed with emotions. Their compassion became a bomb, a curtain drawn back to let in the light of understanding and healing. However, the road was far from smooth. Old wounds reopened unexpectedly, a haunting reminder of the unresolved hurt. One day, during what had started as a pleasant afternoon, we ended up in a fierce argument over trivial matters. The frustration erupted precisely because we had yet to address the deeper issues. There were moments when the silent treatment would linger for days, the solitude a bitter reminder of our unbroken connection tainted by betrayal. Despite the darkness, we gradually began to unearth the roots of our pain. What had once been resentment transformed into an understanding of each other, one paved with painful truths. Each day, we cultivated glimmers of hope, laughter echoing during a board game night, or smiles exchanged over shared meals, gradually replacing the bitter silence. Samoa and I were learning to rediscover not just each other but ourselves, relighting the flame that had flickered dangerously low. As the months flew by, our relationship began to resemble an intricate tapestry weaving together love and anguish. Some patterns showed the scars of betrayal, yet amid the frayed edges were threads of resilience and forgiveness. I relinquished the idea that the trust shattered would be rebuilt in its original form. Instead, we created a new foundation, one built on the scars of the past and the strength we had unearthed in facing adversity together. Simultaneously, Neko's health began to improve, serving as a beacon of hope in our tumultuous journey. Our little warrior was recovering, and with each milestone she reached, I found myself allowing more light into my heart. It felt both terrifying and exhilarating. It was a reminder that life goes on, regardless of individual struggles. We finally felt like a family again, an imperfectly beautiful family that was learning to embrace our flaws. One evening, as we enjoyed a dinner infused with warmth and laughter, I realized how far we had come. Samuel, seated across from me, was not the man I once knew. He had transformed, stripped of the bravado that once defined him. In its place was a vulnerability I found captivating. "I want to be better for you and for Neka," he said, holding my gaze as if pleading for understanding. At that moment, I felt a flicker of hope that perhaps our love could rise again from the ashes. Yet, the past has a surprising way of creeping back in unexpectedly. One fateful afternoon, an old friend of Samuel's, who had just returned from abroad, unexpectedly stopped by. With him came a flurry of emotions and revelations that threatened the stability we had painstakingly built. He casually mentioned how he had seen Samuel with another woman at a party before he left. The air grew thick, electric with a tension that could not be ignored. In that moment, my heart plummeted. "Is it true, Samuel?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. His face morphed into one of despair. He had been silent about another incident, fearing it would tear apart our fragile progress. As he stammered through the explanation, the remnant of my trust collapsed again. A single tear escaped my eye, and I stood paralyzed between wanting to flee and desperate to understand. Had I truly imagined our healing, or was it merely a facade? In the whirlwind of emotions that ensued, I found myself propelled to make a choice that would reshape our future yet again. I had to determine whether I could embrace love fully alongside its frailties, with a spirit declaimed by hope. In choosing to confront this new pain head-on, my heart battled between trusting my instincts and nurturing the love still alive amidst heartbreak. The days that followed were filled with anguish and alternating bouts of anger, sadness, and ambivalence. Our conversations echoed with the same questions that wove through our lives: where did we go wrong? Could we recover from this betrayal? And was I willing to piece together my heart after it had been shattered once more? I poured my soul into a decision that would guide me. I would confront my fears and allow myself to understand the truth, even if that truth was painful. One quiet evening, I finally mustered the emotional strength to talk to Samuel again. "Why should I believe you can change?" I asked, my voice unwavering yet trembling with buried emotions. He reached for my hands, his eyes sparkling with genuine sorrow. "Because I've seen the depth of my mistakes, and I can't bear the thought of losing you again." For the first time, I detected a palpable sincerity, the longing to be the man I knew he could be. Through tears and breakthroughs, we began rebuilding trust once more, this time not on fragile grounds but with both our lessons ingrained in its foundation. Samuel committed to full honesty, cultivating meaningful dialogue that challenged both our fears. We found moments of grace in honest conversations, a sense of understanding that began to weave a thread of reconciliation. However, our journey was far from any fairy tale. The scars remained visible, and fear still stirred within me. Each step forward was met with echoes of uncertainty, yet slowly I learned to embrace vulnerability as a path toward courage. The beauty of healing emerged in moments of laughter with Neka, in stolen glances filled with hope, and in the realization that our love was a living entity, one able to evolve through pain and forgiveness. As days turned to months, our hearts began to dance again, guided not by the shadows of betrayal but by a shared vision for a brighter future. Enthusiasm sparked as we began celebrating small victories together, a family picnic where laughter reverberated, a movie night filled with snuggles sprinkled with popcorn. Each moment reinforced our bond, reminding us of the love that still flickered in the depths of our hearts. Yet, just as I believed we had found solid ground, life threw us another curveball. Samuel was offered a job opportunity abroad, a promotion perfect for his career but one that would pull him away from us. The very thought sent waves of insecurity crashing over me. Would he struggle once more with loyalty away from home? I abruptly confronted him about my fears, unleashing a tangled web of insecurities I had worked so hard to unravel. "Am I going to lose you again?" I asked, my voice barely maintaining composure as the weight of vulnerability enveloped me. He stepped closer, holding me firmly as if to ground me against my fears. "No, Adela. You are my anchor. I want to build our life with you, no matter where I am." His voice was steady, filled with conviction, reminding me that love's essence transcends distance. Through the uncertainty of change, I remembered that life is an unpredictable journey, one filled with twists and turns offering new perspectives. I mulled over the memories of struggle and redemption, each experience guiding me toward resilience and hope. Wouldn't it be poetic if the same love that almost crumbled could now anchor us through transformations ahead? In the weeks following his job offer, we faced the challenge of distance together. We found solace in nightly video calls, sharing updates about Neka's blossoming progress and moments of love that had blossomed between us anew. All the lessons we'd learned about forgiveness, vulnerability, and communication filled the spaces between us, reminding us that our bond was now fortified, ready to withstand whatever trials lay ahead. As the day approached for Samuel to leave, my heart was heavy with conflicting emotions, fear of separation but excitement for his new adventure. Standing beside him at the airport, we both felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down. "No matter what happens, remember that love thrives in every distance," he whispered, his breath warm against my cheek. I could only nod, knowing we had chosen this journey together. When the plane finally soared into the horizon, I felt both hollow and hopeful, riding the waves of conflicting emotions that stirred within me. I embraced the idea of distance as a new beginning, a chance to strengthen our bond while finding spaces to nurture myself. We had survived the unthinkable, and now, I was ready to embrace this chapter, one filled with growth, self-discovery, and the certainty that love would always guide us back together. As the seasons changed, so did I. I focused on nurturing Neka, pursuing passions I had once abandoned and forging connections with those around me. Each day became a testament of growth, a reminder that despite challenges, resilience existed within me. Samoa and I continued to navigate our long-distance relationship, learning to express love through thoughtful gestures and care packages that bridged the distance between our hearts. Months passed, and the reunion we had dreaded turned into a celebration of resilience and love. Samoa returned home, transformed by his journey abroad, but even more so, ready to embrace the trials we faced together. As we held each other for the first time in what felt like ages, I understood that our love had continued to flourish in his absence, an unbroken thread weaving through our lives. We stood united, holding on to the understanding that love, though imperfect, was worth fighting for. As we communicated openly, we tackled new challenges together, inspired by our journey through despair and healing. Each moment of connection we shared, every laugh, every tear, was a reminder of how deeply we had learned to embrace the complexity of love. Together, we cultivated a shared life with a renewed understanding of our vulnerabilities and a commitment to grow. Our journey became not just about redemption but rather a tapestry woven with shared experiences, each strand evoking laughter and warmth from years of heartache. The beauty of our story shone brightly, illuminating the realization that forgiveness could indeed blossom alongside love, creating a stronger foundation. Years later, as I held my husband close, listening to the familiar cadence of his heartbeat, I reflected on all that we had conquered. Our lives had woven an intricate dance of struggles and triumphs, love and learning, resilience and growth. No longer did the specter of betrayal linger in the shadows, instead, it had transformed into a catalyst for understanding and the foundation of an unwavering bond. As the sun set on this chapter of our story, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the love and strength forged through trial. We had risen from the ashes of our past and built a life not only bound by romance but anchored in trust and understanding. Our journey served as a testament to the incredible strength of love, a beacon illuminating the truth that healing is possible and resilience flourishes from the deepest heartaches. And as the night enveloped us, I whispered a quiet thank you to the universe for leading us down this winding path of love. Our story was not just one of betrayal and heartbreak, it was a powerful reminder of the beauty of unconditional love, the importance of compassion and vulnerability, and the sheer resilience of the human heart to forgive and heal. Ultimately, the darkest storms can give way to the brightest dawns. And in the end, love, the powerful, unbreakable force, had enabled us to transcend our challenges, fostering a beautiful life filled with hope, laughter, and an unwavering commitment to one another. The end. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video to show your support. Comment below with your thoughts or what you learned. Subscribe for more captivating stories like this one. And share the video along to friends and family who love great tales. Thank you for watching.